So the trail shoulder is going to move differently depending on or based on what your club face is doing in the downswing.
Yeah.
And that's dependent on where it is at the top of your backswing too, right? So if at the top of your backswing, I would prefer, I think it's simpler to keep the club face as square to the arc as possible.
Yep.
But if the club face gets open to the arc, then we know that coming down, the club face is going to have to get squared somehow. So often when the club face is open, we see that rolling move, and that trail shoulder, or the right shoulder for me, ends up being pretty high. If we have the club face really square coming into impact, and coming through impact, then we're actually going to be forced to keep it square, which is like the ideal situation. We're just rotating our body. We don't have to do anything extra with our hands. So if the club face is square coming down, when I go through impact, to maintain that square club face, I'm going to end up with a really low trail shoulder through impact and even beyond.
Hey guys, before we dive into the video, two quick things. Number one, our golf schools this summer in Bethlehem, PA are already filling up, and I would really love to have you come out and hang out with me for 2 days in Bethlehem, PA for a golf school. If you're interested in coming out, we'll include a link in the description down below. I would love to have you. If you can't come out to Bethlehem, PA for a school, I would still love to coach you and work with you through CogornoGolf.com. That's our online community full of golfers like you and I looking to improve. And most importantly, as a member of CogornoGolf.com, you get access to our Facebook group, which is where all the gold is, and you can post that video like I mentioned. You get access to everything we have, including all the master classes, the member library, the quick fix section, and the practice section. I would really love to see you there. We'll put a link in the description down below. All right guys, so in today's video, we're going to talk about how the right shoulder works in the golf swing. A little bit different than what we've talked about before on this channel. To my right, you might recognize this guy, not JFK, but he is Sam Goulden. Thanks for having us out here, my friend.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you. So I know some of you guys know Sam, mostly, hopefully all you guys know Sam. I followed Sam online from Square to Square back in the day. Sam looked a little bit different than he did now, but learned a lot from the videos online, been communicating back and forth, has helped me a lot, and I'm really excited to have him here with me today to help you guys. We did a few videos on the Square to Square, but today we're going to talk about how the trail shoulder works. And one really cool thing I saw with Sam at the PGA show recently that you'll see at the end of this video that he has on his chest here is a golf bag that he created. That is a million things more than a golf bag. I'll let him show you that stuff at the end. But Sam, A, beyond thank you for having us here. B, let's talk a little bit about the trail shoulder.
Cool.
And during the downswing. And so I saw you in a video talking about, I'm gonna have you in there if you will.
Okay.
Talking about this, and it was a little bit of a kind of light bulb moment of like, oh, we've never really talked about this here, is how the right shoulder works during the downswing and where it is in space and how that relates to the release pattern.
Yeah, okay, so...
Softball that all, toss that all up
yeah,
there.
Yeah, pretty easy, right? So, yeah, so the trail shoulder is going to move differently depending on or based on what your club face is doing in the downswing.
Yeah.
And that's dependent on where it is at the top of your backswing too, right? So if at the top of your backswing, I would prefer, I think it's simpler to keep the club face as square to the arc as possible.
Yep.
But if the club face gets open to the arc, then we know that coming down, the club face is going to have to get squared somehow. So often when the club face is open, we see that rolling move, and that trail shoulder, or the right shoulder for me, ends up being pretty high. If we have the club face really square coming into impact, and coming through impact, then we're actually going to be forced to keep it square, which is like the ideal situation. We're just rotating our body. We don't have to do anything extra with our hands. So if the club face is square coming down, when I go through impact, to maintain that square club face, I'm going to end up with a really low trail shoulder through impact and even beyond. Yeah. So again, if the face is open and I've got to roll it, that trail arm of that right arm is going to roll across, the right shoulder is going to be really high. If the club face is square coming into impact, it's going to end up being nice and low. Coincidentally, that's what we see on most really good tour player swings.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So let's flip-flop. That was beautiful. Okay. And I think the main point of not even really having to reiterate any of that, but I'm going to anyway, trail shoulder higher on the way through, more club face roller rotation in simple terms. Trail shoulder lower on the way through, less club face rotation, more stability. Where the club face is, right, as you mentioned, pairing up with that really well. And so if I'm a person who comes through and they've done the recommended pieces, and the face is more square relative to the arc I'm swinging on, on the way back and coming down, I'm now set up, right? Because I've passed first grade and go to second grade. I can keep my right shoulder lower and keep the face more square because it's already there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Versus if I'm someone who has my face more open and I go more trail shoulder lower, all else equal.
Yeah.
Big
Straight
right,
Yeah.
right? And so I got to do something at the bottom.
Yeah.
So if I am someone who comes down, face is square, right shoulder lower, that gives me all the benefits that I want of basically everything good.
Yeah.
Versus my face being more open, I'm gonna have to add in some kind of higher shoulder, more release pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect. I know I just literally just said back what you just said there.
No, that's good. That's right.
So if I'm gonna implement this and I come in here, right? Because I think there's a couple different versions of how someone might be able to use this.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Ideally, optimally, someone gets the club face square, they feel the shoulder staying lower. Maybe it happens by itself.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
So it could.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it's an old habit or it's an old move coming through, then yeah, coming through. The real checkpoint is right here on the way to impact is the club face square. If it's square, then it's all body rotation through.
Yep.
And you'll see keeping the club face square on the follow through or on the through side, the more up the arc the face points, the more down toward the ball the right shoulder is going to be.
And I love Sam too, like when I'm coming here and I use this as a checkpoint, face being down towards the ground, if I'm going to use my body to turn, getting back to an impact position, right, from here, if my arms are here, for me to get back there, my right shoulder has to go down and forward, 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 just for me to get back to the ball.
Yes.
With maintaining some kind of structure.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Versus my trail shoulder staying back from here. Well, how do I get to the ball and maintain my impact conditions? Yeah, I don't.
You can't. You throw it away.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it is a necessity piece. So as I'm going through and I'm hitting shots, let's say I don't have it low enough.
Okay.
Right? And I want to feel it more. Are we starting with something as simple as, hey, and I know you like some left shoulder.
Yeah, I think both. To me, the lead shoulder is more of an activator, but I have had some players that really like that feeling of the trail shoulder.
Yeah.
Either way, as long as you meet the goal of getting the body rotation really good through the shot.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the thing that's maintaining all that structure for you. As soon as the body slows down, the club head overtakes.
Yeah.
It's all going to be all over the place.
And again, right? Like, so someone who, let's stick with the first one. Let's say we're here and I'm getting and I want to feel that. I'm feeling my right shoulder kind of down and forward. Simultaneously, my lead shoulder's kind of working up and back.
It's going up and back. Yeah, exactly.
So let's try both of those. Let's just hit one here first. Got my little bullet down the lane there Sam told me about. Right shoulder more down on the way through.
Ooh, just stick with that one.
That felt good.
That's good.
Well, and the thing too, Sam, is like all this stuff can be either directly applied or reverse engineered. And what I mean by that is, and you know this, but some people, by me feeling my right shoulder down and forward, that might allow, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I can do this first and that makes that happen. Sometimes I do this first and then like, oh wow, I need to have my handle forward with my shoulder that far down, right?
Yeah.
Etc. So that did feel good. I'm gonna do one more. I got the ball in the middle of the grooves in the sweet spot. I learned, and going down the line, right shoulder lower. Yeah, that feels good for me, Sam. I feel like I did, that was a little bit more of the older release pattern there. Let me do that one more time. Meaning that felt shoulder down, but still did with the high right shoulder. So let me do that one more time. Because now I feel when I do that, it's really easy for me to just be neutral. Let's go ahead and do it. And for me, someone who hooks it, Sam, that would be something that I would watch for, right? Like for me,
oof.
Yeah, that was better.
Pure. Yeah.
So like I will say for me as I do that, I hit hooks as my miss.
Yeah.
So me feeling my shoulder down, I feel like the face is more towards the sky, even though I know it was more here.
Yeah.
Because I normally roll too much.
Yeah.
So for me that works.
That's the feel, right? When the lower that trail shoulder gets, the more up at the sky the club face looks.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's great. For somebody who hits hooks or who's really square already and seeing the club kind of overtake too much. It happens to me too.
Yep.
Just to hit a few shots and really feel the body rotation, really feel that club face look up at the sky, and that's coupled with that trail shoulder being really low.
Face of the sky, trail shoulder low for the overtaking. That would be right up my alley. Ooh, yeah, it feels good, Sam.
That was awesome.
So let's say someone's on the opposite side of the spectrum. They say, Sam, I hate this idea. I want to open the face on the way back.
Okay.
Because I was told by my grandfather that I should open a door and close it.
Yeah.
And you say, that's cool, dude, no worries. But if you're going to open it then, right, I'm not going to be a wildly open with my right shoulder down with the face up towards the sky.
There's a freeze moment to get everything back online. So if the face is open back here, you've got to do like this move where you get to about right here before.
Put the brakes on?
Yeah, kind of put the brakes on. You have to get your arms back in front of you.
Yeah.
You have to get the club back in position before you can do that turn going through.
I love that explanation. Yeah. And that's so simple, but I don't think a lot of people think about it that way. If my face is out of position, I need to get my arms and hands back in front of my body. I'm not going to, literally just to get back to the ball.
Yeah.
Right? And be able to square the club face up. And in with that, if I'm that person and you don't want to change the square thing, even though we just really like give a compelling reason why they should.
It's simpler, yeah.
It should be the way they do it. Then, okay, then you might feel less of the body turn, more arms in front. And again, even though it might not be the recommended model, this is what you want to do, maybe they feel a little bit of right shoulder higher to kind of close it, right? And so if someone wants to do that, okay, I'll feel the arms kind of coming down a little more, less body, face is a little more neutral. I got to adjust for that. And then maybe a little higher right shoulder, you know, kind of old school tiger draw type of thing.
Yeah.
So let's go higher right shoulder. I'm not even sure how to feel this. Maybe I'll get the face more open going back. So face open.
That's the first bit. Yeah, you have to get the face open to then have to close it. Yeah, exactly.
Face open, higher right shoulder. I'm not going to cheat it here. Yeah, and so like that's doable, right? That's probably like a 10.
It's just a lot more curve. That's just I mean, to me, like the more the face is rotating on its way through the impact zone, the more out of control I feel.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more in control if the face is like lined up to my trajectory of my shot and I can just turn and face is always really square to that intention.
I really like that feel a lot. I'm gonna do one more of my are not recommended. This is like a star, like don't do this. Face open, but then kind of a higher right shoulder. And when I do that and my right shoulder goes higher, naturally there's a want to kind of have like a more roll, like a overhand forearm type of look.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tennis coach. So higher right shoulder, face more open, face open, high right shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, like doable, but which one of those do I want to take to go play and kind of throw my money on? I'll take the face more square.
Well, I think what we talked about earlier is if you're really in tune with your intention or your ball flight, where you want the ball to go, if your club face is only lined up to that ball flight for the split second at impact, and then the second you take it away, it's off, and then you're going to come through and try to wrap it back around and line it up again. And for me, if I'm lined up to that target, I want my face to look, you know, the same the whole time as I'm going back, going through, so I can really line that thing up again.
Yeah.
Versus if I'm lined up at the target at address, ripping it open away from alignment, ripping it closed to try to line it up again. Like this
doesn't make as much sense.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I really like that too. And for those, Sam was telling me a little bit before, just real quick before we wrap up, when we come down here, the sensations when I'm taking my setup, getting the ball in the sweet spot, which is such a different look for me. That looks like the face is way more tilted, and I love it. And I'm feeling right now like my club face and ball are pointed at my target. My hands are forward here, and I'm looking at my target. I'm kind of seeing the ball go in that line, and I'm feeling like the club face is kind of staying at the ball and at that target on the way back, and then kind of back right at it and back right through it. And I feel like when I'm doing this, I have a lot better control of my start line.
Yeah,
for sure.
You should.
Yeah, compared to north. Let me see if I can hit that 120 sign. This will be a walk-off shot right at it. Yeah, a little bit left, but solid strike, and I would certainly take that. So I love that. One of the few times, again, where you say something so simple and direct that I don't need to repeat it, but I repeat it anyway. Trail shoulder action, how that relates to the club face and release pattern. Dude, love that.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, Sam. So we have the minimal golf bag here. And I will say, as a golfer of 20 years at this point in time, I've yet to be super excited about a golf bag that I've seen before. So I do feel good about this. I saw this with you at the PGA show. Mm-hmm. There was just like droves of people around you. I had to like sneak in there to shake your hand. But I got to mess around with it a little bit without you kind of us talking about it. So I thought it'd be cool if we go over it a little bit and kind of let me know about the features. Because I think I'm going to take one of these bad boys back with me back home.
You need one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I think probably for you and I, the most exciting feature is the phone pocket.
Yep.
It's a place where you can store your phone, but also you can just slip it in there and film your swing anytime you want. So if we're on the driving range or on the course, you can get that feedback of what your swing's looking like. Capture almost every swing, you know.
So when I'm at the range, I come down, I pop my bag, let's say right over there.
Yeah.
I would have that and I could see a video of my own swing right from face on. Or down the line.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
down the line. Like most ranges, this is the hard one, right?
Yeah.
It's great if you can find it, but you can
Perfect.
always find the down the line view.
No more excuses for not recording your swings. Okay, that's good.
Truth. So that's the phone pocket. And staying with the phone, now that we're using our phones on the course for GPS and we're listening to music, there's a really big problem that happens often, that our phone runs out of battery.
Dude, brutal.
So we've got a solar power bank right here. There are two USB ports come out of there and hide throughout the bag, and one of them gives us this retractable phone charging cable. So legit, my phone's charging right now. That's retractable, so that goes in there. I can also store my phone in that little slip pocket. Super.
Oh, wow.
When it's on your back, it's a great place to just slip your phone in. And then the other USB port comes up through this portal. This is all patented, by the way, or in patent pending.
Yeah.
Comes up through this portal and then allows us to charge this bad boy, which is the Bluetooth speaker.
What?
So I can listen to music, I can charge my phone, I can film my swing, and I can utilize solar energy to do all that.
Super cool. And the bag looks awesome.
Thank
I
you,
just put it on and it's very comfortable and very light.
Yeah, the backpack strap, I mean, it works really well as a single. Like you can just throw it over your shoulder and carry it as a single, but because of all of this padded, big, thick straps, it really does a good job of keeping the weight kind of moved around. So it's not all in one spot on your shoulders.
And I saw a bunch of other cool features, and he's being humble here as he describes this, but the ability to put the phone in and charge the phone at the same time.
That's pretty cool. Right?
Oh, dude, it's a game changer. So
yeah, so a couple of like real quick things other people are interested in. I actually love this pocket. This is all magnetic, by the way, so there's no zipper.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that.
Quickly in, get your ball. It's going to close on its own. I'm going to put it back in there when I'm done. I can open this one, magnetic. This one's magnetic.
That alone would be like killer.
It's a cool feature,
just
right?
that one thing.
I mean, they're expensive. I asked the manufacturer, why don't all golf bag companies do that? Because zippers break. Yeah. And usually the zipper that breaks is from the pocket that you use the most. Yeah. So you're losing your favorite pocket when that zipper breaks.
I won't mention my bag brand name, but I got a couple of zippers that are jacked up sitting over there right now. It's the worst.
It's a really good bag.
It's the worst.
Like, oh, I just lost my favorite pocket. So I asked him why more bag manufacturers don't do that. He said, it's really expensive. Yeah. So the bag itself cost me like $25 more than it costs one of these guys to make a zippered bag. For other reasons as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, you know, I want the bag to be awesome. Heck yeah. I'm willing to pay an extra few bucks to make it awesome. Absolutely. That's why we've got magnetic pockets.
And they can get the bag, is that Minimal Golf?
Minimal, MNML, so minimal without the vowels. Yep. MNMLgolf.com. Beautiful. Or Instagram, Minimal Golf on Instagram. Cool. Yeah. Beautiful, dude. Love it. Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Thank you. If you want to learn more about this, go ahead right now and watch one of these two or both of these two videos on the screen. Really going to help you out. I know that you'll really like it. If you guys did like this video, do us a favor, click the like button down below. That helps us out. Click the notification bell and please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.